Welcome to another episode. Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce XXV.
Welcome to another episode.
All right, we having some technical difficulties tonight with the intro. I don't know what just happened.
Welcome to another episode. Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce XXV, double I.
Rome,
D-Malo, Bro Flying,
T-Boogie, man.
just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
That was a little different.
And it ran one more time, and I don't know what's going on tonight. That's also on super playback.
Hey, it did the same thing to Scruff last week, man.
For real, I see what it is, low key. I think we both got caught by the same thing because I wasn't there last week when that happened. But it looks like they changed the format just a little bit, and it caught me. It caught me. You got me. You got me, StreamYard. But we back, man. It's your favorite sports show. Gas presents Sports for the Culture. 50 Tyson remix.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
It was going down.
Hey, yo. And then he tried to play one more time at the end. Like, hold up, I got one more for you. Like, all right, yo. Gas presents Sports for the Culture, man. Your favorite sports show, the best sports show on the planet, man. And we back with another episode. We got a good one tonight. I am tonight's host at Bryce XXVII. Let me start by introducing the guy to my left. Introduce yourself.
Hey, man, you know who it is? Your boy Young Rome 22 on all socials. If you're new, hit that like button, subscribe button. As always, we got a dope show for you all tonight. Come for the sports, stay for the culture. I think we're going to start off with a little culture for you guys tonight, though. So stay tuned, man. We got a lot of good convo.
Okay, I feel that. You know how they got like, Ron, I got a question. Like, you know, there's Hoodie Mellow, right? Is there like glasses Rome? You know what I'm saying? Rome, you got the glasses on tonight. Like, what you about to be in your bag tonight with the facts on Craig? Like,
very astute with it today.
You know what I'm saying? I feel you though. Shout out to my man. Kicking it to the bottom screen. Introduce yourself.
T-Boogie, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, guys, elite fourth grade AAU coach. My man, Spectacle Rome. I like that look, man. Hey, I can't wait to get into tonight's show. It's gonna be a fun one, man. Without further ado, man, let's just get it started.
I think Spectacle Rome. I think that's it. Spectacle Rome is pretty funny, man.
Hey, shout out my guy B in the comments, man. Oh man.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. My whole computer going crazy off this now. I don't know. It might have been my computer. I don't know what's going on with it. When a Scruff said Rome in disguise, that's hilarious. Hey, yo, Rome on his looping. Got some glasses. He walk in the bank, robbed the whole bank. All he did was
walk out. Now I'm a whole nother person. Like,
Lupin was vicious, bro. Lupin was throwing a mustache, and everybody would swear he was a whole different person. Like, yo, what? What is going on, man? Hey, go ahead, bro. Talking about Rome out here like milk.
Hey, go ahead.
Yo, B going crazy in the comments right now.
He definitely is, man. But so I know B about to go crazy on this topic, yo. But we got to get into it, man. Before we get into any sports topics tonight, yo, we got to talk about the Submersible, don't we? We got to, man. Submersible is the hot internet term right now, man. That's all I'm seeing everywhere, bro. So you know what this is gonna be titled, this segment? One word title. I'm pretty sure you can guess. Submersible, man. Let's get into it, bro. So who's got some good background on the story? Obviously, we know it was going down to take a look at the Titanic wreckage, and now it is lost. I shouldn't say at sea. I should say lost in sea.
NC.
That's NC, man. That's a lot worse. So that's even worse than being lost at sea, if you ask me. It's just more square footage under the sea than it is on top of the sea. But man, T, I'm gonna start with you, bro. Do you have any background information on this one, or any information? Like, what have you gathered thus far?
So I ain't really know too much other than the tweets and stuff, but I did a quick glance real quick, and it appears to be at some sort of adventure tourism company.
Yep.
They're sending guys down for $250. I think you stay down for around a week.
Wait, 250 what now?
250,000.
Say what? 250K. They were 250K. All right, make that clear. If some people might have thought that was a day trip, $250. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no day trip.
It's of an NFL rookie.
This is not for you to take your side chick, you know what I'm saying, in Jamaica, those excursions. You know what I'm saying? This is the real thing. And basically, you can do this and, come back up and have a great story. As far as I don't see, it's not like they're taking the sub in the ship and nothing like that. You just get to see it and you get to see the iceberg. But that, that's what I gathered. And somehow they lost communication within 2 hours.
Somehow. So that made me wonder if they ever had communication. All right. I mean, you lose communication within 2 hours of a how long was this trip supposed to be?
7-8 days. Like
7-8 day trip and y'all lost communication within 2 hours?
No, I'm lying. It's not 7-8 days. Because it only had enough air for a certain amount of days.
Okay.
I can't remember. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, I think it was only like 3 or 4 days, I thought. Or maybe, I think when I heard the update, there was only like 72 hours left or something like that. And last I heard, there was only 40 hours left. I mean, it's an ongoing situation. So, I do want to say I hope that they find everybody and everybody's safe in this situation. But it is kind of crazy to think, like my whole take on the whole thing is, right, like we all know the story of the Titanic, right? The boat goes, it sinks. It's supposed to be this big luxurious thing, right? There's a huge story across the world about how it sinks and it didn't make it to where it was supposed to go. So now what do we do as citizens of this world who've seen this great tragedy? We decide to make it into a tourist event and have people go down in submarines to check out the wreckage of this horrible, horrible tragedy. And what happens? What does God do? He says, y'all are some idiots. Y'all are some dumbasses. Now you can't find your submarine that you went to find this ship that you couldn't save when you had no business building the ship in the first place. So to me, this whole thing is crazy. And if you don't believe in karma or, any type of thing like that, this is proof. This is proof for the world to see. Like, this was a dumb idea to start with. This is some shit rich people do because they're bored doing rich people shit. So they got to invent something else. Like, let's spend $250,000 to go look at a sunken ship that we have no business looking at. So again, I do hope everybody that wasted their money on this experience is safe at the end of the day, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm gonna say is, this might be a little insensitive, but if they make it out alive, they got their 250 worth. All right, that's experience of a lifetime. You feel me? I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Experience of a lifetime, and it's wild the lengths people go to. I mean, and to your point, Rome, like, what are they even in, bro? Like, I saw a video circulating, and I'm not gonna say I didn't fact check it. Like, I like the fact check thing, so I'm not sure how the truth to this video, but they're claiming it's the video of this submersible. And bro, the owner of the submersible is saying he got parts from Camber World, on the submersible. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling these unofficial parts rigged onto a submarine that's supposed to take me 2 miles, beneath the sea. Like, that's crazy. It sounds reckless. I mean, it makes me feel like, only scientists in the Navy should be going down there. You feel me? Like, I don't understand why we got like random people paying $250K to go on down in the submersible. Like, and I know y'all saw the controller, bro. They working it with the Xbox controller,
bro. That's what happened. Oh, we lost signal. No, the Xbox now. Like the Wi-Fi went out on the online. like this is terrible, bro. Like, what were they thinking, man? What a horrible idea.
They didn't lose connection. They just lagging, man. Once that lag get back, they gonna be Gucci, bro. I don't know, man. Like,
They
That's how
didn't
they
download
treat
the
life.
update.
That's the problem. They treat life like a video game out there. All right. I mean, you hopping on a submersible controlled by a joystick. You already wilded, man.
I honestly think part of the experience is the fact that you can die. You know what I'm saying? No, not for real. Like
All
I think,
right, man. Well,
bro,
hey, I feel you though. You on to something.
Yeah.
because the risk of it. All right, a submersible is a vehicle, right? Just like a car, right? Everybody that's ever owned a car has had a car breakdown, but you're roadside. You know what I'm saying? If your sub breaks down, you don't do nothing but sink. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know, boom. Hey, look, ain't no flat tires on the sub, all right?
Like,
Sub, get a flat tire is a wrap.
bro, if the engine go out, you can't use paddles. Like, you're done. You can't use
Yeah,
no.
you really are just gonna sink. You're right, damn. Like
And
you just gonna drop.
if you drop right, and let's say you safely drop to the seafloor, you can't swim to the top.
I heard they can't even get out the submersible or whatever. I heard
Right?
even if that jump was to float to the top, they would need a whole nother crew to even open the door. So even if they find this jump past the time that the oxygen and all that run out, you might just be opening a door to some dead bodies.
Damn. And the pressure too, man. I don't know. I mean, you can go 13, 14 feet deep, bro. And you start to feel that pressure on your ears, especially if you're not used to it and you don't know how to relieve that pressure like in your head.
Yeah.
Some people know how to do that if you swim a lot. Some people don't. But like if you don't do that, even you know what I'm saying, if you don't do that and you feel that pressure build up, that shit is painful, bro. So imagine, you're a mile under, right? That shit gonna blow your head, literally, bro. Your head is gonna blow up, bro, into smithereens, bro. Like from pressure, like not even from just like you go like that's an awful. I hate to put it like this, but an awful death, bro. But I ain't gonna lie though, me being the thinker I am, it makes me I start to wonder, fellas. All right, I start to wonder, like, because obviously it's T, like you right, bro. Like a part of this is the fact that you can die, but there's a whole lot of shit that people do on the daily basis that like they're doing it because of the thrill of death. You know what I'm saying? Like in some things, maybe they're not doing it because of the thrill of death, but you know that the threat is an imminent threat, right? And I started to think about like which one of those things would we do, would we attempt, and which one of those things would we not do? You know what I'm saying? And which one of those things have we observed become things over time, right? This submersible shit is new, bro. I feel like this is a new one, bro. Like people ain't been trying to get in the submersibles, to go 2 miles down for a whole lot of time. This is some new shit, and we'll see if it continues. But like,
Hey, so let me ask y'all fellas this then. So I don't know the exact price it is to hop on a Elon Musk space jet or whatever it's called, but it looks like it's between 250 and 500. So what are you doing for your summer trip this year, 2023? You got all the money in the world. You hopping on a submersible or you flying to space? T, which one are you taking?
I'm gonna go to space every day, all day, because it's crazy that we've explored more of space than we've explored of the ocean, and we on Earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm going up.
Bryce, which one are you taking?
yeah, damn. I don't know, bro. I really don't know about this one, man. This is like damned if you do that. I lean towards space. I definitely lean towards space. But man, I watch a lot of movies, bro. There's a lot of shit that can go wrong in space too.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have my demise out in space than under the water. All right, you know what I'm saying? If I had to see one of these demises, give me space over the water all day,
Yeah.
all day.
That's where I'm going with it too, and we can get into. I think you dropped it in the chat of like one of the worst ways to die. For me, drowning would be up there and one of the worst ways to die. So I would definitely take the space trip. And it's funny that T, you said we know more about space than we do about the ocean. Me personally, it's like Bryce said. I feel like space is one of them things where we think we know a lot, but we don't really know as much as we think. So like, let something go wrong, and I feel like you really just out there. You're out there. So like, I would still take space though over the submersible.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's crazy is somebody that's in the sub right now was on Elon's rocket to space.
They try to double up. They playing with
It was Jeff Bezos. You know what I'm saying? The blue origin of rocket.
That's not even a surprise to me because it's like I said, this is some shit that super rich people do because they're bored of the other. Like if you've driven every Ferrari, you know what I'm saying, like every car the day it comes out, of course you want to get a spaceship or get on a, you know what I mean, submersible. Like there's only but so many things left.
It's like it's never enough, but like there's a lot of things that are seemingly becoming imminent threats that people are still doing daily, bro. And I don't like, for example, skydiving is one. Everyone always throws that one out, bro. You know, like, would you skydive? And bro, a big part of me wants to try skydiving. You know, but there's another part of me that's like, you know how much of a dummy you are if you don't want to die skydiving. Like, if you make it skydiving, you're good. You good. But if you are that guy that dies doing it, you're a dummy. I don't care. Like, you knew the chance. You knew it, and it happened to you. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I don't know. How y'all feel about skydiving?
I mean, what you just said is exactly why I'm not doing it.
Everybody be that dummy. I go to iFly. You feel me?
The skydiving, for me, that's a tough one because the issue isn't really hitting the ground so much for me. Is that every time I see like a regular person take a birthday trip or something and skydiving, they're always strapped to another man. And if I gotta go,
oh, be left, man.
Oh man, T said there's no way I'm hitting the ground with another man on top of me.
I hope be left, man.
Hear me out. If I gotta go, right, it's not gonna be strapped to another man. If you hit the ground with another man on your back,
yo, shit is getting worse, bro. This shit is not getting better, bro.
Dog. Now,
oh man.
Hold up, bro.
You don't see me with no parachute. No, I'm good.
Hey, what if you know, like a agent or officer or somebody jump on you and save you from getting shot? You hit the ground, there's another man on your back.
Yo,
is it okay then?
No, it's different. It's different, right?
You got to be saving my life, not ending it.
To your point though, bro. Like, all right, even if it was like, let's say it's a woman on your back, right? My main issue with that, bro. Okay, if it's a woman on my back, I want to pull the fucking ripcord, bro. That's my real issue, bro. Because like, I want to be more than like, I want to be in charge of that ripcord because you just never know what goes on in the sky. You know, they teach you to do when you're a visiting parachuter. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all you do is this, buddy. You put your arms out when we jump. That's all you do. That's probably the directions they give you, my guess. Put your arms out. So that means they don't even teach you in case of emergency how to pull the damn ripcord. You don't even know where the ripcord is at. So now this person that you don't know, what if this person all of a sudden faints up there, bro? As soon as y'all jump out, they knock out, and your ass disconnected to them and don't know where the ripcord is at, bro. You looking for it? Like, come on, bro. Nah. I need to be in charge of my own parachute. And that's
what I be thinking. Like, who are these people anyway? How much do they get paid an hour? Like, I've seen workers. What if they're having a bad day on a job? You know what I mean? I need to see their Twitter feed. What if they're like, you know what? Today's the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're having a bad day, I don't need nobody strapped to me. You're right, Bryce. So you definitely got to be the one pulling the cord and knowing exactly what to do. Cause like, that's crazy. Like,
that's the point I was getting to. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be, you know what I'm saying, controlling my own situation. And you know, you ever seen Beetlejuice? You know what I'm saying? When the people died, they was walking around the afterlife like how they died. Like,
yeah.
You know, you walking around with a man smashed to your back. Like, nah, not me.
Oh man.
But even skydiving, man, that's these extreme sports are there for the chase and the thrill of the adrenaline. One guy that's actually on that sub has 3 Guinness Book World Records. You know what I'm saying, for being underwater for the longest time, things like that. Like, bro, you're when you're doing stuff like that, you're testing fate. Like, I'm not sure how else you can look at it. Like, when you go to say, I'm going to do this dangerous act longer than any man's done it before, like, you're tempting fate.
That's some Final Destination shit.
Yeah.
I hope they found safe and all of that, but like, man, that's a tough one. And on top of that, you're not even 10 times out of 10. You said they can't open the door. You're not drowning, right? You're dying from lack of oxygen. So you're choking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Choking to death.
It's tough.
And I don't know if y'all are familiar with like stories and things like that, but like when groups of people are dying together, it get ugly.
I was just about to say, do you think this would be the Lord of the Flies type situation where it's like, yo, there's only but so much oxygen. Like, it's 5 of us. If we narrow it down to 3, we're gonna have a little bit more time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
then
almost,
then you look at it, yo, heavy set dude taking a little bit more oxygen than the rest of us. Like,
right.
should
Yeah.
should be breaking down in some sick ways, bro. It be breaking down in
Hey,
some sick ways.
you start looking at people and trying to guesstimate their lung capacity. Like, hold up, hold up, man. You look like you breathe a lot of air over there, and gotta go. Yeah, that's
like like the imminent threat of death, but it's not imminent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there, but it's not exactly there. But you know it's approaching. Like,
But
you're
yeah,
twist and warp. You know what I'm saying? You could be, like you said, you thinking about lung capacity. You thinking about, all right, this guy's already 75. He's lived his life. Like, you trying to do math that no normal person should be doing. Like,
and you know somebody in that joke fidgeting playing with that controller, trying to get that joke to work again. Like, we can just get this damn controller on. Like, like.
hey, I think so. I seen this on Twitter, man. Somebody said this is gonna be a hell of a movie if they ever make it one, and it really could be, bro. Because what if they open that door and it's one man that's left? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this could go a lot of ways, to be honest.
I'm usually very not hopeful when it comes to things like this, bro. Most times, but Ron, you said it was like 40 hours left. I think
And
it's
that
a
was
decent,
yeah, that was a while ago. So I mean, they got like
I'd
what
say it's a decent
2
chance
days?
they find them, bro. Because like I feel like underwater, I don't know, man. They look in the general area. They should have some sort of sonar or something, bro. And they should know a general path that this craft is supposed to take.
well, there's a lot of money and technology that will go into going down there and looking for it, because that stuff is used for like wreck retrieval and things like that. But it's not like an ambulance is coming. You know what I'm saying?
But these rich people though, like if these people are like these rich folks that's on there, bro. Like, bro, their estate's not about to be playing no games about them.
Well, I think
they're about to get all that. They're about to get all that, bro.
I think what they got to do though is they got to be able to know where they went, and then 2, going down there and retrieving them isn't going to be simple. You got to go down there with a craft that's big enough to get that whole craft back up to the surface. So the reality is getting your little joystick controller to work is the best way to go about it. And if that ain't gonna happen because you've lost connection, then going down there to physically retrieve them, I mean, you're gonna need like Aquaman or some shit, bro. Like, it ain't gonna be no simple task to get that whole. Well, you're gonna need a craft big enough that they can go all the way down there and get that up. That is gonna cost a lot of that money from that estates that you was just talking about. So
Bro, you got to think, man, like that. There's redundancies built into subs. You're going to have more than one power source. You're going to have more than one way to get electricity through the whole sub. Like, so something went very, very wrong, obviously. But it just makes me think, like, on a day-to-day, people don't realize how much actually has to go right for you to stay alive.
oh yeah.
Like
that's right.
the street lights have to work.
Yeah.
Like things got to go really, really right for you to stay alive. And when you add submarines, the ocean, miles of water, like the margin of error just gets slimmer and
Yeah,
slimmer.
how do we know there's no like sea animals or sea creatures or something that you know what I mean?
So it was confirmed that this thing only opens like from the outside, right? So you can't even open it from the inside, is what I read.
Yeah, like they're legit trapped
So
inside,
that and
but
that's the other
essentially.
thing because like there's a chance that they were able to get that joint to the surface. And, you know what I mean? And like imagine a world where they get it to the surface, but they can't open it themselves. You know what I mean? So now they're just on the
Floating.
surface floating.
Nah, if it hit the surface, I think they would find it if it hit the surface.
Bruh, people get stranded. Like, think about people get stranded at sea and they don't find their ass, bro.
Yeah.
Like they don't find them, bro. Like, and I mean
Shit.
like, and
Like
this is like,
ever. Like
yeah, like there's a lot of real estate out there, bro. And you have to search from a distance, you know what I'm saying? To search a certain amount of ground, they end up missing shit. And that would be tragic because no matter what, even if they get to the surface, right? They're in an airtight situation. So their air is still going to be dwindling at the same rate.
Right.
And they're
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
bottom, you know what I mean? And that would be real unfortunate. They've like made it to the top somehow, but we all looking under, you know what I'm saying? All the resources are under. Like, I don't know, it's just a lot to think about.
And that's what I was thinking too, Bryce, because like if they did get knocked vastly off of where, you know, people will be looking, like that's how people get lost at sea. Like if you're not looking at the right place at the right time,
Yeah.
like by the time you look in that section of the ocean, they could be across a whole nother way. Like
Right.
so
When you're under, bro, you ain't getting moved at the same rate. Like you ever gone under the ocean, you good. It moves you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it's
not like at the top though,
pushing you
yeah.
through. Yeah, at the top, you getting pushed any direction, you know what I mean? And that's
them underwater currents could easily take a sub. That sub was only 21 feet. And for point of reference, that's closer than the rim to the 3-point line.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why I asked about the animals, because I really feel like this joint got knocked way out of where they would assume it would be. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like,
we did
you don't want
with the orcas organizing. They were organizing.
Organ motherfucker save the whole submersible. They be, you know what I mean? They pull the joint up. You're like, oh. But it's almost like the kid. It's like a kid a few weeks ago. They jumped off the cruise ship. You know, rest in peace. But like, they didn't find him. They did say it was shark infested waters. But to your point, Rome, you don't want to be in no shark infested anything. All right. That's kind of scary for them too. They get out and all of a sudden you're dealing with I don't know, man. It's a lot to think about.
I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say I'm gonna assume that they're somewhere near the bottom, because to get to the top you need your engines, because one, the sub is heavy, and two, you can't rise that fast. Like if you know anything about scuba diving, if you come up too fast, it's gonna kill you. That pressure, you got to come up. So you would need your engine to regulate that. And I would think if you got power to the engine, you probably got power to the radio somehow. But either way, man, it's a sad story. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we get a miracle out of this, but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. There was a father and son on there. There's a CEO on there. There's a guy that's a Titanic expert. He's done like 35 dives. This is his second dive in that particular sub, I believe. And then the captain is actually the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
I respect that, though. I do respect that. He's staking his everything on this. Like, I'm the CEO and captain. Yeah, I respect that.
So imagine they all get saved, and then this man is getting grilled with questions like, "What the fuck happened?"
But at least he's not just sending people out there like, nah, like Elon need to be on every SpaceX trip, bro, right? Elon on every ship, bro, for real, bro.
And not the hologram Elon either.
But it got to be one of the worst ways to go, man. Like underwater, you trapped in a coffin underwater. Like, I can't think of too many more ways that it could go where you like, it's just, I don't know.
I got one for you. An avalanche. All right. I don't want no parts of an avalanche, man. Every time I think about an avalanche, you just covered in heavy snow. You can't move. There's just enough oxygen getting to you, probably barely keeping you alive, just for you to feel this sense of claustrophobia for the last moments of your life.
No,
that's probably my least favorite natural disaster that comes to mind is an avalanche, bro. Let's rank the natural disasters real quick. Avalanche got to be at the bottom, right? Come on,
man. I don't know.
Would you take a hurricane or avalanche? This is very insensitive conversations. First, let me preface it with that. All right, there's a lot of people harmed by these natural disasters. We're gonna hit.
Right. Give me the hurricane. I'm gonna take my chances with the hurricane.
Exactly, bro. You feel me, bro? 10 times out of 10, I'm gonna take my chance with the hurricane. Now
over the avalanche. I mean, I feel like these questions are very centric to where you live, right? Because like if I live at a place where hurricanes crush us every year, I'm probably not taking a hurricane. But I mean, yeah, the avalanche, like we talked about this in the pre-show. If you're not inside, bro, the avalanche wins every time. Like you as an individual will never beat the avalanche, bro. Like that ain't gonna happen. You have to be inside something, bro. So yeah, I go with the hurricane.
Nah, because a part of me feels like I might be able to like juke past a tornado. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's going that way. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like a part of me feels like, or tornado, I got a little bit of a shot. You know what I mean? Like it's chasing me. Oh, it's going right. Oh, I'm going left. Like,
I've survived a tornado before. I haven't been like super close, but like my godfather, who was of a different hue, was all like, "Oh, yeah, it's a tornado." You know, like we're good from this distance. I'm like, bruh. But we were good from that distance. So I'm since then I don't have the same fear of tornadoes as many. But the hurricanes are different though. Hurricanes are different.
I think I take the hurricane over the tornado.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We taking the hurricane. Yeah, I'm taking the hurricane over tornado, but avalanche versus tornado gets interesting.
Bro, the thing about the avalanche that gets me is I can just scoop up snow so easily to make a snowball. And like realistically, if you're covered in it, the weight of the water, bro, you're not strong enough to scoop yourself out. Like you're probably at an angle where you can't even move. Like any of these joints where you have to think about how did I put myself in this position? Like I don't want to be in none of those.
What would you? All right, so avalanche or a tidal wave? You at the beach, big ass tidal wave.
Avalanche ain't nothing.
Man, what? Give me that tidal wave, bro. I'm gonna make it through that tidal wave, bro. I'm gonna make it through that tidal wave.
You don't know what else? What it could be all kinds of animals at the end of it. Like you'll be able to move around once it settles. But what if you pop up next to a orca?
Yeah, I'm done.
Bro, the problem with that tsunami is similar to the hurricane and the tornado. Like it's throwing other stuff at you. Like like you get wedged between two cars. A car hits you. Man, these natural disasters, that they're literally disasters. So I think I'm gonna go with the tsunami, the tidal wave, because bro, that avalanche, like it's snow, it's ice, it's rocks.
So the avalanche is undefeated.
Bro, I feel like I got a shot. I feel like I have
a
shot.
What do you call it when a volcano erupts? What kind of natural? That's just an eruption.
Yeah, see now we getting into them, Rome, because that right there is something different. And this is another thing you brought up.
Because once you get caught in that, that's going to be painful. That's not even like if you die in the avalanche, you're gonna die from being like annoyed and stuck. But if you die in the lava, bro, like you're gonna slowly burn, like in the worst way.
And like, yo, there's level, like to your point earlier, Rome. Like, it depends, like where you're from, which one you might fear more. But like, yo, there's really levels. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've never, only once in recorded history has there been a full level volcano eruption onto a city, and that don't ruin that city and everything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like. That is like, you know, that a volcano to full power might be the worst possible thing that could happen in the universe, you know, in the world, on the earth. Like the more
Or
I think, it's like,
when I think about natural disasters, like a volcano eruption, like and like you said, like if it was like a crazy one, that seems like the most science fiction one. Like that and like a tsunami, like an avalanche and shit seems very possible. I know tsunamis do happen too, but like it just seems like the more like movie type. Like what would you really do other than just die? like
yeah, because like hypothetically, a volcano eruption in the in the right magnitude could like create a whole new like land.
landscape,
Just say
yeah.
fuck everything that's currently here. Okay, that's currently here. One eruption, nigga, and we just drawing over we painting over it all. We
New map.
starting from scratch. We hitting the reset button with one eruption, bro. And yeah, man, that one different. Dog.
I've actually been near a volcano in Costa Rica. That was cool, but you couldn't even get close to the top. At least that's what they told us because the gases that the volcano released, were toxic. And you couldn't breathe them in. That volcano is vicious too, bro. Like you said, man, if you can reshape the earth,
Man, that's something I didn't even think about. T, the gas from it would probably take a lot of people out before it even really did got like the lava, and then yeah, and then that is like some extinction level shit. Yeah,
I mean,
like
like,
it's gonna wipe out the population, and then it's gonna reshape the land that the population was using.
and like speaking to like these joints in full force, which thank God we don't see, except on movies. But like the opposite of a volcano creating more land would be like a earthquake to its full power, just taking everything away. Like all of a sudden cracks just start forming, and you all of a sudden you see shit like falling in those cracks. Yeah. I'm good. I've been in an earthquake actually. I was in LA with my girl, and we in Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, bro, and everything starts shaking. And I'm looking around like, hold up, man. And everyone in LA is just acting like it ain't shit. And I'm in that joke, like, hold up, bro. Like, I'm not feeling this. Because it was shaking, bro. It was shaking. And like, I swear, man, people eating like it's like nothing's happening.
Y'all remember that one we had here? We had one here like I don't even know how long ago now.
that was
yeah, the DC earthquake.
12, 13.
Yeah.
I was in the Social Security office. I'll never forget that.
Bro, I will never forget that because I'm a guy that is really into the sci-fi and the paranormal and all that. So at the time, I'm still living at home, and my bed, I'm sleeping in the bed, right? But my dresser, my mirror has all these medals from when I was a kid, track, basketball, whatever, sports, and the medals are on the mirror. So if you walk in my room and you jump, like the medal's gonna hit the mirror. I'm sleeping and everything's shaking and the medals are banging. My first thought was not earthquake. My first thought was my room is possessed.
Yeah, nah, I feel that because I was in my room too, bro, and shit started shaking, and I was like, and then I went outside and shit was still shaking, and I was like, yo. That's why I was like, and I was thinking like people in LA deal with this on the regular. Like this is crazy to me.
Yeah, they deal with it on the regular to the point where they act like it ain't nothing when it happens, man. It's the craziest thing, man.
Are there any other natural disasters we missed?
I think we hit just about all of them, but I feel like there's also no real like limit to natural disasters. You know what I'm saying? Like there are natural disasters that we have no clue are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like an ice age would be a catastrophic natural disaster, right? You know what I'm saying? But like,
would you a plague of locust?
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of that stuff from the Bible is a natural disaster. Like who knows? COVID. Well, was it natural? But,
don't do that. Don't do that.
But nah, you get what I'm saying though. There's diseases, there's all kinds of things that you could categorize as natural disasters.
Yeah, all right. Okay, yeah. You know what? You know what's low key mid B? Category 4. All right, category 3. Whatever earthquake you was in is low key mid.
No, it's the
earthquake to its full power is high key earth destroying.
Now
right?
the earthquake on the Richter scale.
Yeah, what is it? What is it?
The Richter
9. So was it 9 magnitude is the highest earthquake?
Yeah.
and 9 is crazy. 9 is
You get a
California.
9 magnitude earthquake, best believe
Well,
best believe
earthquakes
it's over.
earthquakes are the point guard of natural disasters because what they're going to do is they're going to throw the assist to the tsunami, and then we really getting crazy, or the avalanche. That earthquakes are the point guard of this whole thing.
Nah, that's
Hey,
real.
that's a perfect segue, man. I like what you did there, Rome. So we're gonna segue on out of earthquakes here. We're gonna segue right into point guards, man. And well, shooting guard, I guess. We're gonna start with Bradley Beal in sports, man. So Bradley Beal traded to the Suns, fellas. We knew it was coming. If you were paying attention, you knew new GM of the Wizards, new president of the Wizards, and new GM. New president name is Michael Winger. The new GM is Will Dawkins, and you could tell that they were about to make some drastic changes, right? And here they are. First one, Bradley Beal to the Suns for an underwhelming return, depending on how you look at it. So let's see how we look at it, man. Bradley Beal traded for multiple second-round picks as well as multiple first-round pick swaps in the future. Those details have not been released yet, but one would assume we're talking about 2029, 2030 type first-round pick swaps, right? And second-round picks are probably more recent, or more sooner than that. First reactions to that trade, and throw a grade on there while you at it. T, we'll start with you.
Man, I'm gonna get a Wizards a D. I'm not gonna fail them because who knows what those future picks could turn into. Phenom for all I know, but just up front right now, it's a D because the signing of Bradley Beal was insane. The no contract, I mean, no trade clause was worse than insane, right? And to move him and get what they talk about, Landry Shamet, you know what I'm saying?
Landry Shamet and Chris Paul, yep.
Like
I didn't even include them. They probably won't end up on the Wizards. We'll see. But yeah,
right.
Landry Shamet, Chris Paul.
So you're basically paying for the sins of bad ownership and bad general management, and that alone should probably be an E. But like I said, man, stranger things have happened with some draft picks, so I'm gonna give him a D, man. I'm glad Bill's out of here. Maybe he'll get motivated to win some games, playing for a potential contender. But this leaves the Wizards as possibly the worst team in the league 1 year after you needed to be the worst team in the league.
Good point. Good point there. Yeah, Ron, what you think about this Beal move, man?
Look, I got a few strong opinions on this one. So check it. If we're doing grades for the Wizards, I'm gonna go full F. You're losing Bradley Beal, right? And when we lost John Wall, all I heard from Wizards fans was, "Oh well, Bill's the real deal anyway. We're gonna be good with Bradley Beal." Oh, blah blah blah. Right? What has Bradley Beal ever won? What has he won? Like, I'm not even discounting the man's talent, discounting him as a player. I'm just saying he's a solid player, but he doesn't move the Richter scale. How many more wins does Bradley Beal give you a season? Obviously not enough to make the playoffs consistently. Obviously not enough to do anything in the playoffs because he ain't done nothing without John Wall. So F for the Wizards because you're losing what was sold to the fans as a key piece, a piece that was going to make a difference for your squad, and you got nothing out of it. He didn't even play that many games, really, once you add up the last 3 seasons. But that's a whole nother topic. And then if we're grading it for the Suns, I'm giving it a C. I'm giving it a C based off what I just said. So you're telling me, okay, we got Booker, we got KD, we're gonna add Bradley Beal. So I'm supposed to be sold on the fact that because Bradley Beal doesn't have to be the guy, just a piece for the Suns that he's gonna take him to the next level. You got KD and Bradley Beal. Like I just said, Bradley Beal barely played over the last 3 years. You think KD doesn't play full seasons? These guys are supposed to all be healthy. They're supposed to all click, have chemistry. I'm not buying this for the Suns at all, or at least not the way that other people are buying it. I don't think this is going to be some crazy good move. I think it'll be something that we look at and something that we talk about, but I don't think this moves the needles for the Suns in the way that Bradley Beal didn't move the needle for the Wizards either. So I give the Suns a C and the Wizards an F. Maybe like T said, maybe the future picks will be something, yada yada yada. But the Wizards set themselves up to be a laughing stock, and they're getting laughed at right now. So
Yes, we are getting laughed at. We're getting laughed at by a lot of people, all right? And it's nothing new for us, okay? And this is the thing: when it's nothing new to get laughed at, right? You understand that your next move, you gonna get laughed at for, right? Everybody, bro, and I hope everybody is watching this right now has been the guy that's been laughed at before, right? Because if you've never been that guy, you don't really know how to thrive as that dude. You know what I'm saying? But when you are the guy that gets laughed at, you know your next move, no matter if it's a good one, a bad one, or indifferent, they're gonna laugh at you. You know why? Because they like to laugh at you. And I think that's what's happening. And I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a homer here, but I think that's what's happening in this situation. Look, Beal's contract is horrible, bruh. T just went on a rant, told me the no trade is awful. So why do we think that we know, just as you know, as analysts and fans, that he has a horrible contract? So don't you think GMs know that too? So like, don't you think GMs are gonna be like, oh, I'm damn sure not trading for that horrible contract? Like, why would we be the only ones that know that, right? So obviously these GMs know that just as well. So they're not gonna trade nothing for Bradley Beal. In fact, oftentimes when there's a horrible contract, you got to give a first rounder to a team just to take on that horrible contract, right? We've seen that happen time and time again in the NBA. I want to get rid of this horrible contract that's on my books for the next 5 years at $50 million. I got to give you 3 first-round picks just to do so. This is what happens in the league, right? So the Wizards really, the more I look at it, bro, I hate to say this, they actually made a good move for their future. Now, it looks crazy because they trade an asset and get nothing for it, right? The no trade clause, that was already done. You know, what was done was done. That was done by a previous regime, new president, new general manager. To me, they did the only thing that they could do because now they get rid of that albatross of a contract and they're in a position where they can be the team that takes on these bad contracts from other teams and gets first-round picks in return, right? So the Wizards opted for flexibility over somebody's first-round pick right now, right? The Wizards could have took Miami's first-round pick right now. They could have took 18. Then they could have took, you know what I'm saying, whatever probably would have been a bottom first-round pick next year from Miami, whatever year they would have had a pick, right? They could have done that, but instead they was like, yo, let's try to get first-round picks from other teams who may end up being trash, who just got to get rid of contracts. I like opting for flexibility in this situation, but I also understand that, like from the outside looking in, it looks like a very, very bad move, especially from a team that's been a laughing stock for so long.
all right, real quick. So my problem with their whole way of doing things and the way that you just broke it down, I like how you broke it down because it makes a lot of sense the way that you just broke it down. So I hope Wizards fans out there heard Bryce break that down because that was all nice and lovely. But this is my issue with the whole thing is if you're going to do it that way and you want the flexibility, you got to be like the Nationals. You got to do what they did. You got to blow up the whole thing right away. The Wizards like peeled the Band-Aid off real slow. You got to rip that thing off. If you were going to go this route, you should have let Bill go when you let Wall go. You could have put yourself in a much better position. Or even like T said, they needed to be the worst team in the league last season. Now you're setting yourself up to potentially get these good picks and potentially do these things, but we don't know how it's going to go for these next couple off seasons. We don't know the moves that they're going to make, and we don't know if the moves that they make pan out. So you're getting laughed at right now, and I agree with you, Bryce, that you got to be confident in your moves, even if you're getting laughed at. But from where I'm sitting, I don't see a point where they're going to stop being laughed at. So I have no faith that they're going to make the correct move based off the moves that they've already made. So if they were going to go this route, the flexibility route, they should have ripped that Band-Aid off and have flexibility sooner.
I agree with that, man. But like, remember, the last regime was committed to Bradley Beal, bro. Like Tommy Shepard was the GM, and he made the decision that he was going to die. He was going to stake his whole reputation, his whole career on Bradley Beal being able. And then he had to know they were never win no championship. But he was he was putting his reputation on the fact that if he was surrounding Bradley Beal with the right pieces, they would be an Eastern Conference contender, right? And that may have been a chance. There was a chance, but he didn't know how to surround him with the right pieces, bro. And now we found ourselves in a situation where a new regime has to take this on, right? So this is what gives me faith, Ron, is that this new regime didn't come in and look at Bradley Beal and be like, yeah, we can make this work. Let's go get CJ McCollum and let's go get I don't know, name that role. Like, let's go get a couple decent guys. You know what I'm saying? Not no stars. Let's go get a couple decent guys, put them around Bill, and maybe we got something. Nah. This dude came in, he was like, Bill, out of here. Kuzma, out of here. Porzingis, maybe we'll keep you for a year or two, bro. Maybe we'll keep you on the books because we got to have some salary. But he's looking at these guys, he's like, you're out of here, bro. And that gives me hope because the last regime didn't know how to say that, and they didn't even know how to look themselves in the mirror and actually see what they were. At least we got that now.
That's a fair assessment because that's honestly what the Wizards need is a complete makeover.
Well, they only have 3 players that are going to be signed on the roster after next season. So this is a complete rebuild, a complete blow up, rebrand, whatever the case may be. But what's interesting is I'm curious about what they do with this first round pick, knowing that you're going to be bringing potentially a young superstar, if you hit on it, into a team full of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like that first year is going to be crazy tough for a rookie. But maybe that's just what they need. No expectations and a lot of playing time. But I don't really want to spend too much time on the Wizards because they're years and years away from being relevant. But Phoenix is, in my mind, immediately relevant as a contender. In my mind, this is a version of the original big 3 of Pierce, Ray Allen, and Garnett. You got the stretch 4 guy. You got a guy and Bill that can get to the bucket at any time he wants. You know what I'm saying? He can create for himself. And you have Booker, who's one of the best scorers in the league. And if he keeps it up, he could go down as one of the best scorers of all time. Like, this is a trio that's tough to stop because the NBA game is a lot of isolation. But we've seen stars get sent doubles, and that's kind of how they've defended them. Who do you double? You cannot double Bill and leave Book. You cannot double Book and leave KD. You can't double KD and leave Bill. All of those guys make jump shots and open shots at a high clip, bro. They can all score 30 points a night. They would all be the leading scorer on any team they were on in the NBA. You add a guard there that can manage those personalities. Phoenix is going to be a really, really tough team to beat, man. People don't see it, and I think it's his personality. I think it's got a lot to do with they don't believe in Booker. But, bro, if all 3 of these guys are healthy, trust me, it makes very good basketball sense.
Yo, I don't know, bro. I feel like this is going to be one of those team ups that we look at in a year and like we end up forgetting that shit even happened, bro. There's been a few team ups like that where you look back at it and be like, oh yeah, they were on the same team because like it just never works out. They never play together. It never actually materializes. I would be shocked, bro, if this don't materialize into something. I don't want to be negative. I would be shocked if this big 3 materializes into something substantial.
I would be.
And why substantial? I mean a championship. And I'll take it a step below that. I'll go a finals appearance. I would be bro. I would be so shocked. I would be floored. I'd be floored if this team makes a finals. Floored.
Yeah, I
wouldn't believe it.
I tend to agree with Bryce on this one. I don't think that this move is going to catapult the Suns into an instant championship contender. I think they're going to need to click, man. I think we see team ups like this, and like you said, Booker, Beal, KD, they're all the scorer. Who's taking the last shot? They got to learn how to play together, gel together. I don't think that happens in one game. And like Bryce said, we've seen team ups amount to nothing before. And if I'm being honest, even as a KD fan, a lot of those team ups were KD team ups.
Hey, you know what I'm saying, bro? I didn't want to go there, bro. I didn't even want to go
I,
there,
A
bro.
lot of those forgotten team ups,
I think
KD team ups.
I
Forgotten
think
team ups, bro.
I
For real.
think this one is different. I think KD is older, and we've seen KD not willing to step up and take the reins. He's willing to let somebody else lead. Booker is clearly the leader. Beal is crazy paid. He's got the All-Star appearance. He almost had the scoring title, right? What's left for him other than a ring? And I think he would be fine playing a third role. Imagine any one of those three on the court with your second unit. Like, I might be talking crazy, and people always think I am, but I think this team beats the Nuggets in a 7-game series right now. If you bring the Nuggets back out and said play 7 games against this Phoenix Suns roster right now, I think the Suns beat the Nuggets with Bradley Beal, bro.
Yeah,
No
well,
way in
You
hell, bro. They don't even.
Bruh.
Hey, bro. You got. All right, man. Bradley Beal at his best can play some defense. You know, if he wanted to be a good at defense, he could be, but he don't want to be good at defense. And going to Phoenix ain't about to change that. KD, I love KD. He the best offensive player of my lifetime, bro. But KD is not a defender, bro. And Devin Booker, I'm not even going to start with that. All right. Although Devin Booker has improved on defense, I should give him that. He's improved. But who's going to defend on that team, bro? All these players are worried about offense, bro.
Bro, what do you mean who's going to defend? All of those guys are all-star level talents. All those guys can defend. Will they defend is the question. I think they will. I think this one makes basketball sense. I think I'd be surprised if all three of those guys don't average 20 points next season. I'd be shocked if they're all healthy, that they're going to average 65 points together, if not 70, 80. Like, those three are going to score a lot of points, man. Just trust me. Bill,
they have the potential to put up points.
I mean, they'll definitely have games where they look crazy and it looks unstoppable, and they might even have a series or two like that in the playoffs. But I think as far as championships go, like, you need to gel as a team, like, or at least have the chemistry, and maybe they pick that up throughout the season and it gets them there. But I'm not buying it right
And I
now.
don't trust that crew to play, like, bro. I don't trust that crew to play the right way, bro. Honestly, bro. I don't trust. That's the real thing. I don't trust. Yo, hey, all right, my bad. T, go ahead. Go.
What was the piece that put the original big three over the top? Like, what do y'all think the next player, the fourth player?
Oh, you talking about Rondo?
Yes. If you give the Suns a guy like a Marcus Smart or a Patrick Beverly, like a dog at the one, bro, that team could be.
Boy, that team will be broken up in 42 games, boy. Hey, stop playing. Hey, hold on, bro. Whatever that fool made about trade deadline. And this is my thing, right? This is why I don't trust. This is why I don't trust. This is why I would never trust the Suns or most teams made in a year. I came up with a new theory, man. You know, the good mister comes up with a theory every now and again, right? So here's my new theory, fellas. There's two types of teams in the NBA, right? And they both have proven to have the ability to win championships in the league, right? But you got two types of teams. You got the teams that every time a player on the team gets the ball, they make the right basketball play. We've seen those teams, bro. These are the most recent team that was like this consistently. Obviously, the Nuggets is that type of team. The Warriors were that type of team winning championships. The Spurs was that type of team winning championships. Like, there's more examples I go on and on and on, right? And then there's another type of team where the goal of this team is when a player gets the ball, the goal is to get the ball to the right basketball player, right? We've seen these teams win a lot of championships too, bro. Like, to me, MJ's Bulls was this kind of team, bro. Like, to me, the Heat's big three was this kind of team, right? It was more about, at the right moment, get the ball to the right player versus in the right moment, whoever has the ball, make the right basketball play. If the Suns become a team, bro, this type of a team, they are going to be the team where it's always going to be get the ball to the right player. They're not going to be, I don't trust them to be make the right play type of team. And to me, if you're going to be a get the ball to the right player type of team, that team takes time to get that. Like you can't put that team together in a year. Not even LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh could put that team together in 1 year, bro. Because you really can't do it, dog. You really can't do it, dog. That team has to learn the exact moment when each player needs the ball, right? See, when LeBron and them finally got to be in that team, they knew the exact moment to give it to Ray Allen for that step back three. When Bosh got that ball, he knew he didn't even think about giving it to LeBron or D Wade, bro, because he wasn't thinking about, let me make the right basketball play and pass it to open man. It was like, no, this is Ray's moment, right? See, because when you're one of those teams, that's how you're wired. Everybody has their moment, their job. But when you're one of those teams where everybody makes the right play, you can become that quickly, yo. You can become that team in 1 year and win a chip if it's just about making the right basketball play. Because it's very easy to learn. Every basketball player knows what the right basketball play is if you're a real basketball player. So it's kind of easy to get everybody on the same page with that. But it's hard to get everyone on the same page with knowing each and everyone's exact role and every exact moment and every exact second. That shit is hard, bro. And I'm telling you what type of team the Suns are going to be. They're going to be get the ball to the right player type of team, not make the right play. And the Warriors had two iterations of them to me. They had the iteration where they were a get the ball, make the right play team. Then they had an iteration where they were to get the ball to the right player. And that's when they got KD. They changed for those couple chips. They changed who they were. And I always respect them because they got back to who they were and ran it back for a fourth one, right? So I will always respect that. But I've noticed it's two types of teams, and both of them can win chips, bro. But one of them is a little harder to become, in my opinion, dog. And it takes time to become that team, bro.
Look, Phoenix is a playoff team already. Chris Paul arguably would have made that team a little bit more better. I just think what you're getting in Beal is light years ahead of what you would have got from Chris Paul.
So you think Beal can play the one for them?
I do think Beal can play the one. I don't know if but
I don't think that's a championship.
It's not, bro. The NBA point guard is not what it used to be. You just need to get the ball down the floor and start the offense. You don't really got to set guys up as much anymore. You don't see too much of that. You see Jokic do it. You see Chris Paul do it. You see LeBron do it from time to time. But you really just got to get the ball down the court, set the offense. The thing is, right, I think Book and KD are jump shooters in their heart of hearts. In their heart of hearts, they feel like they're Steph Curry. Beal, I think Beal is closer to Jimmy Butler in his heart of hearts. I can get a bucket, bro, and I can get to the rim. Like, I don't have to settle for a jumper. I think that type of mentality is what you need in the playoffs. Like,
man, you ain't. How much Beal have you watched? All right, because that man gonna settle for them. He gonna settle for the mid ranges every damn time, man.
It's easy to settle when there's no expectations. Whether you win or lose doesn't matter. Now you're in the national spotlight because the expectations are crazy. KD needs another ring. Book doesn't have a ring. I don't think Beal would disrespect those two guys by going out there and play like he did with the Wizards. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe
I think that's where we have the biggest difference.
With the Wizards, he would be disrespecting them guys. So you think if Beal plays who Beal is, he disrespect them guys. And I think that's where people are gonna be surprised because I think Beal has shown me who Beal is, bro. Like I watched Beal's whole career, bro. It'd be hard pressed to find somebody that's watched more minutes of Bradley Beal playing basketball than I have, bro. I don't think he's that guy. I think, skill set, if like you was controlling him, he could be that guy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't think he's necessarily that relentless guy, get to the bucket every time we need it. Like, that's not him, bro. In fact, his best season, it was a whole lot of mid-range jumpers. And he shot the best he ever had from them. But his best seasons was volume. And that's another issue I have with this team, bro. I'm not seeing super efficiency outside of Kevin Durant. And I think Kevin Durant's efficiency tends to waver Now, as a player, Kevin Durant is unbelievably efficient. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, dog. But like Kevin Durant, like I said, the best offensive player I've ever seen. But he has a tendency to settle for jumpers. Maybe that's to your point. He feels like he's a Steph Curry. He has a tendency to settle for tougher shots down the stretch, in my opinion. And so you got three players, bro, where Beal earns every fucking bucket he gets, bro. But it doesn't come easy to him, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. He is great at it. He's elite at it. But the shit ain't easy, bro. He don't get them. Like, Devin Booker gets some easy buckets, but Devin Booker's not very efficient. He's not the most efficient basketball player. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know how seamless the fit is. I'm excited to see it because T is he's bullish on it.
Yeah, I think Bradley Beal's been a little overrated here. I think T just wants to see someone fail in DC and then be great somewhere else. It goes with the trend.
T, what is your win total for the Suns?
60.
60? Oh my gosh.
So you have them staying healthy as well too.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Bill's gonna play that many games. Bryce, let me ask you this: who plays more games in the regular season, KD or Bill?
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're gonna see this big three as much as they're gonna need us to see him.
Beal probably hasn't played 75 plus in maybe 4 or 5 years. Right? Like, I don't remember the last time, maybe it's that time he scored, maybe that time he averaged 30. He was up there in games. But it's been a minute, bro, since he played a full slate. I say KD probably plays more games, bro. I don't know, bro. If KD plays more games, they're who T thinks they are. If Beal, I don't even know who. I don't know, bro. That's a tough ass question, dog. Give me Beal. Give me Beal playing more games because KD, he's older. So
if they get one more piece, I'm just looking for them to have a tough defensive minded guard. If they get one more piece, they're fine.
No, that's a fact. I don't mean to take no respect away from D-Book. And I said that he wasn't efficient. I shouldn't say that, man. He's efficient, bro. Him and Beal are both somewhat efficient players, but it's just like in the clutch, man.
I'm gonna tell you.
I've seen Beal do a lot of nut ass shit in the clutch. Maybe he don't got to be clutch for this team, though.
I'm gonna tell you the problem you have with all three of those guys. Like you said, they're volume scorers. They need the ball to get those point totals. And we've also seen all three of those guys score a lot of points and lose games.
Yes.
So
and that's exactly it.
So I get it.
And that's exactly it. And it's like, I don't know if they have that in them to be like, yo, because to your point, T, if all three of them are averaging 20, right? Like, that means that they would have had to sacrifice. That means somebody got to average 8 assists. Somebody had to average 9 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's sacrifices made across the board if that happens. And I'm not sure, like I've seen Bill be a 9 assist player. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't in a way that was conducive to winning. You know what I'm saying? It was more in a way it's like, okay, this is my ball every down the court. I'm making every decision, so I end up with 9 assists. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, bro, if you want that when KD's on the floor. I don't know if you want that out of a Bradley, out of anybody if you have a KD on the team. So, to your point, they got to find that point guard, bro. If they get Chris Paul back somehow, okay, I'll take everything I said away. They get Chris Paul back.
That changes the whole thing. Honestly,
what they need.
T's right. If they get the right point guard that can distribute and is defensive minded, then I mean, this team is money. But I just, as they stand right now, I don't really see it. I don't think Brad Beal is a piece that pushes you over the top. But if you get that other piece that T's talking about, now you have a complete puzzle.
Yeah, and honestly, I'll venture as far as to say that the only person that can make this one right is Chris Paul. I don't think any other point guard in the league, not no Pat Beverly, no Marcus Smart, no insert that point guard. I don't think nobody else can do this because this is a tough ass job, bro. To get these three, because these three players are capable of together winning a championship. I believe that. I do believe that. But the form it would have to come in. I don't know if they're capable of reaching that form, bro. And it's like it would take either an unbelievable coach on some Phil Jackson shit or unbelievable point guard on some like Chris Paul shit to make it happen, bro.
Somebody in Phoenix sees it the way I see it because why else would you take on that contract?
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because you're in a situation where you are tied to somebody, right? And it's a star-driven league. Kevin Durant's the biggest fish. Him and LeBron are the two biggest fish. If they're on your team, you do what they say. KD and Beal rock with each other. Beal becomes available. KD hollers at the Suns brass. Look, make this work. Guess what? Beal's agent is the father of the Suns president. How about that? You know how easy it becomes to make a deal when KD makes the call and then they find out, oh, that his pops, that's his son. Oh, we good. Man, make the call. What the Wizards need? Man, give them whatever. Man, I got a no trade clause, man. Give them whatever, man. That's how that shit goes. That's exactly how that shit went. You know what I mean? Like, it was an easy deal, and we'll see. We'll see if it works. But I could see a world where it works, T. But I think I put it 70-30 on it not working. I think they win 45. I think they win 48 games next year. 47 games. This is not like no 55, 60 win. This is a 47 game win team. They probably limp in with a 6 seed, 7 seed in the West, narrowly missing the play-in, but everybody feels like all they got to do is get in. They one of them teams. They just got to get in.
I'm trying to tell you it's going to be tough, right? Because imagine you get to the playoffs, and it's the last thing I'm going to say on it. Matchup-wise, you're going to be put in a crazy situation. You might got to do like the Heat and just try to play zone because – bro, who we got in the West? John Morant and the boys, they can't do it. They have no answer for KD. Golden State, they have no answer for Book and Bill. You might have an answer for one. Whoever Steph Curry ends up checking can go for 40.
Yeah.
Bro, I think this just makes so much basketball sense, but maybe I'm tripping. We got to see. I don't want to hang on this too long.
All right, let's keep it pushing, man. Next player we got to talk about. We're going to get out of here real quick, fellas. We got about 2 more. You know, we're going to skip over one of these. But let's talk about Dame real quick, man. Let's talk about Dame, the Blazers, what we think their best move would be, and if we think Dame will stay or go. So first, let's take this poll, man. Dame staying or going, fellas? Rome, just a yes or no before we get into it. Do you think Damian Lillard stays with the Blazers or goes? Yes, he stays or no?
Said it last week, man. He's staying.
All right, T, you think he stays or he goes?
I totally think it's dependent on if they can get another guy to come in there and play with him. But the way it's starting to look, I think he stays.
All right, so let's talk about it from that standpoint then, since we're all on that same page that he's going to stay. What is it that they need to do, and how do they need to do it, right? Because they're in an interesting situation with that third pick. They could try to flip that. But if they flip that, they're kind of surrendering their future in a way. Like this is to me, a generational draft. I've said it once. I'll say it again. This is a generational NBA draft, I believe. So like you could be picking, if you pick third in this draft, you might end up with a Carmelo Anthony type of player. Who knows? So what does that mean for the Blazers, bro? Do you think they need to package that pick? And if they package that, what do they have to get from that?
You absolutely can't package that pick. You stand pat, you draft, right? Because I'm a firm believer that, bro, you have to draft for how the league is going to be in the future and what that means for your team. And the future is Dame doesn't have another 4 or 5 years, like as a star player. He just doesn't. So you need to take right now, while you have the opportunity, somebody that can be the face of the franchise, right? So maybe that means Dame doesn't win a ring, but maybe that leaves the next guy in a better spot. So I think you stay at 3 and you take Scoot or Miller. And I think you'll probably end up with Brandon Miller. And if you end up with Brandon Miller, that's even better because that's a piece you actually need. Somebody, a perimeter guy that can score. Now all you need another third. Like you said, they're trying to get Bam. You need 3. You need 3 guys. If you could get Bam and Brandon Miller, now you got a team that at the very least, they can make the play in. Because I
Hey,
think
so
you go. I think Brandon Miller is ready to start in the NBA day one.
Oh yeah, I'm rocking with B Miller. What you think, Ron?
So this is my thing. First, I want to address the comment B made. Is there a ring for being loyal? It's a wedding ring. I think that's the only ring you get for being loyal in
Like it,
in, in
Ron.
today's in today's world. But look, my thing with Dame is, and y'all can help me out with this, is who have been the GMs of his team the last however many years that he's been on it, right? But this is my thing. We just saw the Nuggets win, and we talked about it a lot during the finals, even with the Heat. These teams are complete teams. They're well put together teams. The super team era, as we know it, is for the most part over, even though we just spent a lot of time on the big three. But for the most part, that's the only big team up that we're seeing next season. So my question is, why are we always talking about Dame being loyal or Dame staying? Why can't these GMs, why we should be putting more pressure on them to build a team? Why can't you win with a Dame Lillard? Why can't you bring a championship to the city with a Dame Lillard? It's a player that a lot of teams would trade for. A lot of teams love to have him on their squad. So why is it that you can't build around him and get to a championship with that star quality player? I'm putting that on the team and the organization, not Dame for being loyal. And I agree with T, man. I think you stand pack at the third pick and you find a way to make this work. And if you don't make this work and Dame leaves, you can't blame anyone but the organization.
Yeah, and that last piece, Ron, I agree with 100%. If it doesn't work, you can't blame anybody but the organization. That's why I think if this organization is serious about committing to Dame Lillard, they definitely trade the third pick and get what they can and rock out with Dame Lillard. Like if you're serious about like, yo, we got Dame Lillard and we believe that a team with Dame Lillard is a championship team, then what are you doing with the third pick in the draft, bro? Because Dame Lillard
If
is on the timetable right now.
If
Like,
you if you do that though, then you honestly, whether they keep the pick or they trade the pick, whatever you get in return, you got to be sure. Because like T said, Dame's shelf life as a top star is only going to be but so much. Can he still be a great player? Absolutely, but the championship window only lasts for so long. So if you're really gonna make a run for it, then you got to be 1,000% sure in whatever you do with that pick. Me personally, I go with the young guy. I go, you know what I mean? Like you said, this is going to be a good draft. You go with a young guy, even if Dame doesn't pan out, you still got somebody tied to your roster that can ball. So, I mean, that's how I would think. But if you trade that pick, you better be sure that what you're getting in return is going to work out and you guys are at least in the conference finals.
but Rome, you basically what you're saying is if you keep really to me, if you keep the pick, you telling Dame like, look, bro, we don't really believe in you. Like we believe in you enough to keep you, but we don't believe in you enough to invest in you. Like you know what I'm saying? And that is like you don't believe in me then, because keeping the third pick is insurance in that case. Like why y'all need insurance if y'all rocking with me? Third pick can net you a lot on the open market, especially in this draft, bro. Third pick can probably get you an all-star, maybe two all-stars in one trade with, you might have to give out one player, but you could probably get two all-stars in one trade.
Well,
With the
what
third
what do
pick
you
right
what do you think? Well, what do you think right now that they need on their roster that would help them towards a championship? Like what type of player?
They simply need two things. A guard or a guard that's much bigger than Damian Lillard, right? And a wing and a big and reasonably he has to be much bigger than Damian Lillard because he has to be able to take on the defensive assignments. And McCollum just wasn't big enough. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't physical enough to take on those assignments. And two, they need a dominant, not dominant. What's the word I'm looking for? They need a super athletic player. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel them trying to get Bam, bro. They need a super athletic star. You know what I'm saying? They need a super athletic star that can defend, and they need a big guard that can score. And that's all they really need, bro. And that's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but
And
that comes with a lot of their packages.
where are they more likely to find that, in the draft or the open market? Because that's what it's going to come down to.
But the problem about finding it in the draft, though, is it takes 3 or 4 years to get there. So, like, yeah, they can find the draft right now, but Brandon Miller, I agree, is going to be a star. But Brandon Miller is not going to be Brandon Miller, the star on a Damian Lillard level, right, for another 4 or 5 years. I mean, it even took Steph Curry 6-7 years in the league to become what he became, right? Like it takes a little time to get there. So I think that, Dame don't got no time to waste. So go get somebody that's a little more mature in their game already. Flip that third pick if you're the Blazers and fit him with the third pick can probably get you something good. They talking about it can get you now. Zion's a little bit of a risk, right? But imagine a healthy Zion going to Portland with Dame Lillard, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an investment to Lillard because that's a guy in Zion who's in 3 years now who should be emerging now. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need, bro. Somebody who's ready to be a star.
Yeah, I don't like the Zion fit with Dame. I actually don't think there is a fit for Dame. I don't a small guard, volume shooter, and I like Dame. He's tough, man. But if I'm Portland, I don't care if he leaves or goes. I'm planning for post Dame. I'm planning for Portland Trail Blazers minus Dame. We're keeping that third pick, and if Dame is mad, you're mad, bro. Like, so what? We've seen the best.
I think you have to plan for post Dame.
We've seen you in your prime, and it didn't happen, and that's okay, man. Winning the chip is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, it didn't happen, but you also didn't put no one around that man, bro. So like,
yeah, they could have done better.
It didn't happen, but it was never a full investment. It was never a full like, yo, who's the best player Dame ever played with, bro? Let's just be real. Like, Suns got 3 players that are all better than the best player Dame ever played with now. Like, there's teams with multiple players on there that's like,
I gotta do the research, but I feel like Dame's been on a roster.
It's McCollum. The best player you ever played with is McCollum, bro. And after that is Nurkic or Nurkic. My bad. Nurkic. Yeah. Those are the best 2 players you ever played with. That ain't good enough, bro.
No, it's not.
That ain't good enough, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta. I hear what you're saying, Bryce, with the Zion. I don't know that Zion's ready to be that guy. But if Zion was ready to be that guy, then you would. The Dame would work.
Over 50 a game.
That big 3, that's the 3. That's what she wants. That's her fantasy. That's her championship.
Go ahead, bro.
Now that I'm looking at the roster, Dame's had some guys, but like that the team didn't take time to develop those guys. Like,
that's my point, is when you can't. You got Dame. Oh, okay. Who are these guys though? I want to hear this.
Gary Trent Jr., Anthony Simons.
They still got him
though. Zach Collins, I guess he didn't pan out.
I mean,
who else on it? Hassan White.
That's their problem. They tried to build it through the draft, bro. Y'all not building it through the draft, man. Y'all got Dame Lillard. Y'all hit on a player. Man, y'all better move and shake. And they didn't move and shake for that man. And now they got the third pick. And they're not going to move and shake once again. And Dame, it's time to demand a trade. Dame, listen to me, Dame. If they keep this pick, demand your trade, my boy. Demand your trade the moment they select a draft selection. Demand a trade.
They had Ennis Freedom. Myers Leonard.
Come on, man.
No, I see what you're saying. They didn't move heaven and earth to put that man, put a star next to a star. I get that.
They had opportunities too in those drafts. So they've already proven they can't draft. Trade that third pick, get what you can. But all right, speaking of draft, man, all this draft talk. Let's hit on it. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, I'd trade Dame.
Yeah,
that might be the best. That might be the best move for the team.
Yeah,
as much as I love Dame staying loyal, if I'm the team, it's like a relationship, right? You ever had somebody be real loyal to you, but then like the best thing is for y'all to split. So you got to be the one to be like, look, I know you love it here, but you got to go.
Good point. And if you take that perspective as the Blazers, you're in a much better position without them than with them, because like you got young talent at that position. You've got Simons, you've got Shaedon Sharpe. Like, these are 2 young players that need the ball to get better, bro. You don't get better without having the ball. So they need the ball to get. They need it. And yeah, you talk about you're getting multiple first round picks. You could really flip Dame for something serious. We'll see if that's the route they decide to take. I doubt it, but we'll see. Quick hits on the NBA draft, man. I always like to go through the NBA draft and just shout out some prospects that we feel like are can't miss, because then we can always come back to this and see. I remember a couple years ago, man, I told y'all my two favorite players in the draft were the two Tyreses, man. I'll never forget when I got on the show and said I like the two Tyreses. And sure enough, both them Tyrese's is dogs, right? And of course, my Wizards didn't draft neither of them. I told them all they got to do is draft a Tyrese that year. They didn't want to draft a Tyrese, and Halliburton, Maxey, both dogs. So let's hear some this year, man. Who y'all feeling this NBA draft? Have y'all dug into this crop of players, or y'all how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? Give me some names that y'all think gonna hit.
You already mentioned. Oh, my bad. You go ahead, T.
I haven't dug in too much. I think up front there's a ton of talent. Further back, I like Amari Bailey. I think what's my guy named Kobe Brown. I think both Kobe's. It's funny.
Yeah, I like that Kobe Buffkin.
I like both Kobe's in this draft. But really, my favorite player in this draft is probably Brandon Miller. I mean, Wembanyama and Scoot are no brainers, but like outside of them two, I really, really think Brandon Miller's special.
Yeah, Bryce, you mentioned him earlier. That was the guy at the top of my list for this draft. That was definitely can't miss. I like Jalen Hood a lot, the guard. But other than that, I haven't dove too much into the draft. Obviously, there's the dude at the top. How do you pronounce his last name? Victor
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama. So I mean, we could get into this on another pod because I know we're running short on time, man. But I'm not buying all the hype on him, man. I think we touched on it a little bit a few pods ago, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing some of what everyone's saying, but I think they're overhyping it. I guess is what I'm getting at. So do y'all think that's a little overhype or?
Yeah, I'm sure there was that one guy that watched LeBron and was like, "Yeah, he ain't gonna be shit." There was that one guy, bro. That one guy watched LeBron and was like, "Nah, that ain't it."
I look wrong. I had the same thought, right? And I said, check something. I got on the FanDuel app and I looked at the odds to win Rookie of the Year, and I said, nah, he the truth.
Damn.
You got, and there are some things that are straight. Like he's very, very skinny, bro. That is the one thing that's like. There's a couple of videos of him.
That's the thing that gets me is I'm like, bro, like it's a grown man league, and I'm not trying to hate on the young cat, but Bryce even mentioned it. It takes a couple years to really be that star in the NBA. So like, am I wrong for thinking that when he comes out of this draft that he's gonna have his struggles? He's not gonna look how everyone's hyping him.
You're not wrong for that. He probably will have some struggles adjusting to the game, and I wouldn't be shocked if, like, especially Scoot comes out the gate firing more than Victor Wembanyama, just because Scoot's a little more used to that style of play, playing with the Ignite for a couple seasons. I think it's a big adjustment going from that French style of play, that Euro style of play, to the NBA. So he may have to adjust to that. So we could see an adjustment. But the talents, bro, is crazy, dog. This dude is ridiculous, bro. Like he is that as a prospect. If he's a bust, if he ends up being a bust, it was something upstairs, bro. It was something mental. He wasn't right. This dude is like a little prototype. He's a lab created basketball player.
When's the last time a player's touched Greg Popovich and came out worse, or just, you know what I'm saying, like that?
That's
like,
true. That's very true.
Organization
situation
teaches you how to play in the NBA. Even their backups and their role players have gone on to see some success in their roles. Then they have Derek White at one point.
Yeah.
Then they had my man that just went crazy with the Lakers in that one game.
Lonnie Walker.
Yeah. Lonnie Walker's from the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't imagine the Spurs taking a guy like that and not getting the most juice out of that. You know what I'm saying? That they're going to squeeze the most out of Wembanyama, bro. They're going to make it work.
Oh, they gonna squeeze that lemon, bro. You already know. Greg Pop not playing. The basketball gods gifted him with this. He will not waste his gift.
Bro, don't surprise Tony Parker in there speaking French to your boy.
Right. Like it gets no more perfect than like you be a Hall of Fame Frenchman playing on the same team for the same coach in the past.
That's kind of crazy. You said lab created type of basketball player going to Coach Pop with a lot of crazy conspiracy connections we could connect.
Listen, the man had an interview, bro. I need y'all to listen to this, Joe. He just did an interview with JJ Redick, bro. And JJ Redick asked him a trap question, bro. JJ Redick was like, look, a lot of these picks like you, basically, is what he was saying. A lot of people like you lose sight of reality. They lose a sense of reality. They forget what is and what isn't. You know what I'm saying? Basically, what JJ was getting at is, nigga, you got a good chance of being a bust, all right? That's basically what he was telling them. You know what I'm saying? And yo, Wembanyama's answer, bro, was so unbelievably complete. You know what I'm saying? Not that it was just a great answer or a good answer or a bad answer. It was just fucking complete, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was no loose ends on his answer. I was like, yeah, he different, dog. Like, I need y'all to hear that clip. It's circulating on Twitter and stuff right now. The answer was different, bro. And it's an answer of somebody who is going through some sort of Jedi mind training. All right. Victor Wembanyama's around the right people, bro. I heard that answer and I was like, he's reading the right shit and he's around the right people, bro. He about to be that dude, man.
Bro, if you ever owned a 2K game, you already played with Wembanyama. You've created all this guard that can shoot threes and dunk. Like you've created him. How set the height to max, set the hair to afro. Like you done that.
Hey, I will say though, man, there's some players in this draft, bro. Just to run through it real quick, couple guys, man. After Victor, after Brandon Miller, who I agree he's gonna be a star. Scoot Henderson, I think, is a Derrick Rose, Ja Morant style of basketball player, unbelievably athletic. He's gonna be day one that dude, like no question. The Twins, if you're not hip to the Twins, Amen and Asor Thompson. One is a point guard, one is a scorer. Elite athletes, bro. Jump shots need work, but I think both of those guys, day one, will be making impacts in the NBA.
I think the Twins, to me, have the biggest boom or bust potential here.
Yes, especially the point guard one. I think the one that's a shooting guard, floor is a little higher because like he's already proven he can shoot.
He can shoot it.
And he's not going to be asked to lead the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the one that can't shoot, like, oh, you definitely going to be asked to lead the team because you can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do something out here, bro. And he's already kind of built himself as a point guard. And his name is Amen.
Yeah.
Amen got a chance to be that dude, though, bro. Like, he got to, bro. And it's going to be tough with those two. But the guy, I'm almost willing to stake my claim on, bro. Every year I find this player, and I'm going against my better judgment because I never do this for a European player, bro. Like Victor Wembanyama would have been easy to do it for, but this is for Victor Wembanyama's teammate, bro. This dude's name is Bilal Kobalai. Are y'all hip to Bilal Kobalai, bro?
Nah.
Hey, bro. I'm trying to tell you, dog. He like, if Giannis was 6'7", he would be like Bilal Kobalai, all right? Just, hey, bro, I'm thinking this dude gonna end up being a star in the NBA. This is a very bold one, but bro, 6'7", 7'2" wingspan. Look up the players in the past like 7-8 years that have had a 7'2" wingspan. They've been under 7 feet with under 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. They're all stars, bro. It's almost like a 7'2" wingspan guarantees you success in the NBA.
Nah.
Right?
That wingspan makes basketball that much easier for you. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, offensively, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a dog. But my other guy is Anthony Black, man. He's been falling in the projections recently. Anthony Black out of Arkansas, man. Oh, okay, Scruff. See, my guy Scruff told me he was retired from ranking these prospects. Well, I see you back on it, Scruff. I see you snuck and did some research. Yes, I agree. Bilal Kobilai should be. I'm probably butchering my man's name. I'm gonna get your name right once you get to the league, my boy. I'm gonna research it now too, so I got it right in the meantime. But Bilal, he should be top 5, dog. I agree.
I agree. But a perimeter Frenchman worries me.
I know that scares me too, bro. Perimeter Euro worries me. I don't usually mess with perimeter Euros, bro. Like,
you know, the last one I was sold on, he ended up playing with Dame Lillard after a while. Super Mario Henjosa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see you getting sold on Henjosa. Because I ain't gonna hold you. I was kind of sold on him too. That tape was crazy coming out. He could shoot, he could dunk on you. He was looking like a dog.
Crazy.
He was looking like a dog, bro. But yo, this draft is so deep because like there are players that I think in other years, like bro, last year, what's my dog's name that was on UConn this past season, bro, going crazy? Jordan Hawkins. Bro, Jordan Hawkins has been a top 10, top 5 player of the years, bro. Easily. And like he's projected 20th pick, 25th pick. Like this is how I know this draft is something special. So I really do believe that, you know, we're gonna have 4 or 5 all-stars from this draft when we look back. And if you have a lottery pick and you don't get an all-star, you're probably a bad GM. So hopefully my Wizards get it on. With that said, hopefully my Wizards get it on. All right. But yeah, man. I think that pretty much sums it up for the night. Anybody else got anything on the NBA draft before we close it out?
I'm just gonna say if Miller, I would not be surprised if Miller is the best player in this draft. That wouldn't make Wembanyama a bust. That would just make Miller a great. And if Miller goes 2, which I think he should, but I don't know. If he goes 2, look for Portland to then trade out because I don't think Portland drafts Scoot.
Yeah. Bro, Miller just so smooth, bro. Like that, the game looks too easy, bro. It looks like he's not ever like. I feel like with like boxing, sometimes you watch like the great fighters steamroll people. Be like, all right, he's never had to try yet. It's almost like Brandon Miller hasn't had to try yet, bro.
Well, that's one of my biggest credits to a player is when it looks like the defense can't speed him up. Like you can't get him out of his game. He get to his spots. You know what I'm saying? If he's missing, it's because he missed a shot, not because he was defended in any type of way.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say that worries me about Brandon Miller, the one critique in his game I could make, is that jump shot come out a little low, bro. Like that joint is like right here, bro. Like, and I don't really like it, the jumper being right there, bro. And I get it, he's 6'9", so you don't really have to worry about the same things that like a lot of shooters worry about. But that jumper starts a little low for me, bro. And I don't know, like, if he fixes that at the next level, if the release is quick enough, because guess what? Steph Curry's jumper starts kind of low too. That thing quick as a mother, you know what I'm saying? It's the quickest release ever, so it don't matter. That's the one thing I'll be watching out for Brandon Miller on the next level. He can shoot the lights out. It's going to be interesting. Thursday in NBA draft. Tune in. Appreciate everybody for sticking with us tonight, man. We've had a nice little crowd here with us all night. As always, we appreciate y'all for rolling with us. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. Y'all know how we end each and every episode. Sports for the culture.
Sports for the culture.
Sports for the culture.